Three funds, they all hold the same NASDAQ stocks. They all pitch you a monthly distribution. One pays around 10%, one pays around 11, one pays 14. So most people, what do you think they do? They buy 14. But over the past year, the one that made investors the most money on a total basis was one of the lower payers. And that's the trap with these kind of NASDAQ income funds that we see. The size of the check tells you literally almost absolutely nothing. What really matters is what each fund is doing to your upside to produce that paycheck. And these three do it in three very different ways. So here's the backtrack on all this stuff. The NASDAQ 100 is where America's growth stocks live. We know this, right? NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, for years, you own that index through QQQ, right? And accepted almost no actual income from it. Then Wall Street figured out that there was a fortune wrapped in something called covered calls, okay? And now there's full-blown ETF war for your income dollars, okay? JEPQ is kind of the incumbent, right? JP Morgan's fund, around $40 billion in assets, one of the absolute biggest covered call ETFs on the planet. QQQI is the challenger, a fund from a small issuer called NEOS that didn't really exist at all 3 years ago and has already sprinted past 13 billion. And JEPQ is Goldman Sachs entry, smaller, around 5 billion, but really quietly posting the best total returns of the three this past year. Same index, same basic trade, three different machines underneath that are totally worth understanding. Look, when I compare covered call funds built on literally the same exact index, I don't look at the yield. I look at three things because these things determine everything else. So thing one, coverage. How much of the portfolio's upside is even being sold here? That single number drives most of your results, right? Thing two, execution. Who's running the trade and how? Human managers picking stocks, a rule-based system, index option spreads. Thing three, the check itself that I'm getting, what that monthly payment is actually made of, right? Earned options premium or something engineered to look like it's income, right? Keep those three things in mind. And this whole comparison gets simple for you because each of these funds turns them to a completely different setting, okay? So let's start with JEPQ, right? The giant here. JP Morgan's managers actively pick which NASDAQ stocks to hold here. They don't just, buy the whole index, right? Then they sell out of the money calls against their portfolio. The result is the most defensive version of the three here. All right. It's beta around 0.77 means it's, dampens the NASDAQ's moves in both directions for us. When tech sells off, JEPQ tends to hold up best here. When tech rips, it lags the most. That's layer one. With the same index, who's driving still changes the ride. Now we got JEPQ. Goldman does something clever here. Okay. They don't cap their whole portfolio. They sell call options dynamically on anywhere from 25 to 75% of it, totally depending on market conditions. So a chunk of your NASDAQ upside stays uncapped at all times. Its beta sits above 1. It behaves almost like owning the index itself with income on top of it. The fee is 0.29%, the cheapest of the three of here that we're talking about. And that's why the lower paying fund has been winning on total return, about 28% over the past year versus JEPQ's 22. Dial 1 coverage is the whole entire story here. Then QQQI, the one paying 14%, NEOS runs this differently. They trade index option spreads on NASDAQ, right? They're selling calls and buying calls at the same exact time. And they engineer the tax side. So much of that big check starts to get classified for us as a return of capital, which is really just a friendlier for us come tax season. But here's what most buyers miss. The fund's SEC yield, right? The actual income the portfolio generates. It's basically zero. That 14% is heavily manufactured and you pay 0.68% a year for that engineering, right? The highest fee of the three here. That doesn't make it bad, okay? It just makes it a product you really need to understand before you fall in love with some, high paycheck, all right? Now, zoom out. And these three funds are really one spectrum. On one end, we got JEPQ, right? Smoother ride, less upside, an established manager. On the other end, we got QQQI, maximum manufactured income, highest fee, most complexity, right? JEPQ kind of sits in the middle, right? It keeps most of the growth engine running, right? Charges the least and lets the coverage dial flex with the market. So the question isn't, which one pays most. That shouldn't be it. The question is, where do I want to sit on that spectrum? And what am I willing to trade for it? Because you're always trading something in this market, right? The market doesn't hand out 14% for free, guys. It doesn't. It's always coming from somewhere. And now you know exactly where, okay? Here's how I do it, right? I look at total return first, always, right? Because that's literally the only number that actually compounds, okay? Then I look at what the distribution is made of. I want to know, right? I want to know whether the check is earned or is it engineered. Then the fee, because in a category where the products are this similar, cost is one of the few things that actually is predictable here. And since I sell options myself on dividend paying stocks, I'm always asked the same question I ask on every, covered call I run is how much of my upside am I selling? And is the premium worth it? These funds are just three different answers to that same exact question. And once you start looking at them that way, picking between them stops being confusing and it becomes a decision about, what job you need the money to do for your specific situation. So I'm very curious. Down below in the comments, are you holding any of these three? And be honest, did you pick it by yield or did you look under the hood first? Let me hear it down below in the comment section. If you're brand new to all this stuff, you're definitely going to want to attend the ARC Options Workshop. It's the first link in the description of today's video. At the end, you get my 15 favorite stocks under $30, my 2 premium calculators, and my full trade lock template, all completely for free. Remember, guys, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.